Hi, Mr. Serrano. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How have you been doing with the whole pandemic and everything? Have you been keeping busy?
I was trying to, do a few projects around the house, see the kids, if I can,
Yeah,
safely.
family is so important right now.
Yeah, it sure is.
Well, we'll be talking about your evaluation that we did last week, and
Yeah.
so first I'll be showing you some of it about the anatomy, and then next I'll be showing you a video of one of the swallows that you did last week. And then we'll talk about some techniques, and then we'll put that into practice. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Alright, so let's start with the anatomy. There we go. So here is a picture of just the side view of the mouth and the throat.
Mm-hmm.
So here is your lips, those are the teeth. Here's the tongue, this is the base of the tongue. Up here is your soft palate, which closes this off right here, which you can see goes straight into your nose.
Oh, wow.
So you want that to be closed when you're swallowing so you don't have milk falling out of your nose. And then here's the epiglottis. It's like a leaf-like structure that bends over this, which is the airway. And this part is where the food needs to go down. So eventually the food will come down here and it should go into your esophagus and then exit to the stomach.
Okay.
And so when we all swallow, there's 4 different phases. We have the preparation phase, which is just the chewing. This is where your teeth are important, and so just to break down the foods. And then in the next phase, it's the oral phase. And so that's when the tongue is doing all the work and it's trying to push down the food or drink in order to get it down to your pharynx.
The whole thing's the tongue?
Yeah, so this whole thing is the tongue.
Wow, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big tongue.
It's huge. And this is the base of the tongue here. So it'll push up against this wall in order to push down the food.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is the pharynx. So that's the next phase, which is the pharyngeal phase, which means that these things need to close off. So this needs to be closed, that needs to be closed because that's your airway.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want the food to go down there and not the wrong pipe. And so once it gets past here, then we are in the esophagus, which is where the food will come all the way down and then it'll exit to your stomach. And so I want to show you one of your swallows. And I slowed it down a little bit, but let me orient you here. So this is the tongue up here, it's way up here. You can kind of see it's a little black and dark. And this is the epiglottis, the leaf-like structure I was telling you about. And so this is the airway. And then on this side, this is the pharynx.
Okay.
So that's where the food is going to go down.
Sure. All right.
And so we don't want anything in this airway because it'll just go straight to your lungs. So let's play it. See, it just dripped right down there.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a couple of drips that went where they shouldn't have gone.
Right, and so that's what we kind of want to focus on today, but the whole evaluation kind of told us that you have moderate dysphagia, and so there's some weakening of the tongue, which made it hard for you to get the food down. Also, there's some chewing, dysfunctions, and so we want to be able to strengthen that. But today we're going to focus more on the residue that you have. So not in this particular video, but there's some other videos that shows some residue. So there's, when you have the food go down or the drink go down, there's like leftover food and drink in there. And sometimes that can drop back into, as a potential to drop back into the airway. And that's what we don't want.
What happens when that happens?
When the
food,
residue is there?
Yeah, residue or stuff drops into my airway.
It can go straight to your lungs, and sometimes that leads to pneumonia or sometimes infections, and so that's why we want to focus on that first. So we'll deal with techniques that focus on closing off your airway or pushing down the food in order to get rid of that residue.
Okay.
So, one of the first techniques we'll be talking about is the effortful swallow. And so this is kind of what it sounds like. You're using a lot of effort, a lot of muscles in your neck to push down the drink or the food that you have. And so this is, we can kind of pretend like you're swallowing a grape or something to push that down. And so I'll give you an example. You kind of just take your saliva. Sorry, I already swallowed. One more time. So you can kind of see and feel the muscles contracting.
Okay.
And so if you want to give that a try, that would be great.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Nice.
Okay.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, that was about as hard as I could swallow.
Good. And so when you can see that, you can kind of use that as a gauge to figure out whether you're swallowing hard enough, if your muscles are kind of popping out there. But I want you to let's try to do those at least 10 times. And today we'll be using like a thicker liquid, so it's thicker than water, because that is what you've tended to aspirate on, and we kind of want, we kind of want to avoid that. And so, here is your drink just to help you with this all. But if you don't need it, you can just use your saliva.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this 10 times?
You're gonna do this 10 times.
Okay, alright.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a little quick. Kind of go slower and try to push it down. Yeah. Good. I saw the neck muscles on both.
Okay.
That was good.
I'm gonna go again.
Number 3.
Okay.
Nice. Tell me what you feel.
Well, it feels like I'm just swallowing a bunch of liquid, and it feels effortful.
It feels effortful. Okay.
Yeah, it's like swallowing a big chunk of food, mouthful of food.
Good. So this
Feels normal.
Okay, good. Because we want you to be able to do something that you can do on an everyday basis,
Okay.
at least 5 days out of the week. So this will be a part of your homework that we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
You have a couple more.
Okay.
Good. I also saw the muscles contracting,
Okay.
right? Nice. Feel free to take a break if you need to.
Okay. Isn't it too hard?
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. I'm going to do 2 more. And the last one. Nice. I'm seeing that the muscles contract
Okay.
a lot there. Okay. Great. So that's the effortful swallow, and I have kind of made just a little pamphlet of what to remember when you're doing an effortful swallow. So just try to think of swallowing a grape, and then if you want to see if you're doing it hard enough, you can look into the mirror and see if your muscles are contracting.
Okay.
And the next technique that we'll do are pitch glides. And so you're going to go from your lowest pitch to your highest pitch that you're able to maintain for 10 seconds.
Okay.
And so we're going to use the letter E in order to make the sounds. So I'll give you an example. Ready? E.
Okay.
I know it's kind of silly.
There's nobody else who can hear this, right?
Yeah, but you kind of, it's kind of silly, but you can do it at home alone, or you can do it with one of your SLPs.
Alright.
But I'll have you do 10 of those, but I want you to give it a try first.
Okay.
So start with your lowest
And hold for 10 seconds,
and
huh?
hold for 10 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alright, here I go.
Alright. roughly around 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be exactly 10 seconds, but we want you to be able to hold that. And you can feel the vibration of your vocal cords, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that will help you build strength so that when you're swallowing, they'll stay closed, and the food won't penetrate or won't aspirate.
So this is like a workout for my
This is like
my
a
vocals.
workout, yeah, for your vocals.
Okay. Who would have thought?
I know. Okay. I'm gonna have you do 10 more, and I can count for you.
Okay.
We'll just do, I'll just do it with my hands. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
So I like that you really had just that difference there, because it wasn't E, but you really had that loop up. That's very helpful, because then you're stretching it even more.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do another one.
All right.
Good. Do you feel like you're going out of breath a little bit towards the end there?
A little bit, but I'm all right.
Yeah. We can change it to 5 seconds. That's easy. Okay. So this time we'll hold for 5 seconds.
Hold for 5 seconds. All right. Got it.
Five. Nice there.
I don't think the dogs like this very much.
I know. We've got dogs here just to help us out, and on our breaks we get to pet them and things like that. They're some of our co-workers' dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so that was 3. I would like you to do 7 more.
Okay.
Nice. So tell me a little bit about what you're feeling here.
I could go a little higher. I don't know if I
You
can
go a little
maintain
higher?
it.
Yeah, so if you end up breaking at the end, that means you've gone too high.
Oh,
So you want to keep it at something, but you still want that long length of variation.
okay.
Okay, so let's try it. Nice. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more.
Okay, let me take a quick drink because I don't know how long I can keep this up without any moisture. All right.
You got it. Nice. That's 5. I can really tell that you're getting that long length of sound there, so that's good.
Okay.
Okay, 4 more. Nice. 3 more. Okay. Nice. That one seemed a little longer, like it went from a lower to a higher sound. So if you want to do that again, that seemed like it worked really well.
Okay.
Perfect. Great. And so you did well, and we'll have you do 30 of those on your own throughout the week. So we're going to have you do 30 a day of effortful swallows, and you are welcome to use some visual aids that I'm going to give to you there.
The grandkids are gonna think Grandpa lost it now, which is great.
No, they can sing along with you. You can have them join in.
I wish it was that
It can be
easy.
it can be a family activity.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll try to make it work out.
They do voice exercises with Grandpa.
I got no other choice here.
Alright. And so here is a checklist here, and you can check off each box for 30. So you can do 10 and you can do 3 sets of 10 throughout the day. So you're not doing it all in one setting.
Sure.
So if you want to do the falsetto glides at, I don't know, in the morning, whatever works for you. The effortful swallows you can do with your food, so while you're eating. So you have breakfast, lunch, and then dinner. You want to do 10 effortful swallows at each setting.
No problem.
And like I said, your recommended diet is the honey thick, so it's a little bit thicker than the water or the thin liquid, and so we'll give you some thickener, and you'll have, for the solids, you can do minced and moist solids, and then for your medication, you'll still have the crushed medication in your purees.
Okay.
Alright. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I will get in contact with your SLP as well, and we'll talk about getting this back up soon.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, and have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah, this one's good.